I've completed 2 rows of rib, and I've done part of the 3rd row of rib to get to where we're going to start working the buttonholes. But just to show you how the work looks, you can just see that there's 2 rows completed on this side, and there are 3 rows completed on that side if you count 1, 2, the 3 purl stitches there. So that's the reverse, that's the back of the work, and there's the front of the work. And as I explained to you, I had 1 stitch too many, and literally I just dropped a stitch along the shaping from the marker, or from the 36 stitches, between the 36 stitches and the shoulder. I just slipped the yarn off the hook. It's quite easy to do that when you're only doing the pickup row. It gets more difficult to drop a stitch or to realise that you've got too many stitches when you go further on, so always count the stitches you've got on your needles. Also, looking at the reverse side, this is where I alternated using the end yarn from the back and the wool. And it's not too bad there, it's okay. Maybe a little bit looser, but I'll sew that end thread in when we go to neaten the garment. The pattern, let's go back to the pattern. To make the buttonholes, it says rib to last 33 stitches, knit 2 together, yarn round needle, rib 12. Knit 2 together, yarn round needle, and we do that 2 more times. So in total we're going to make 3 buttonholes, and we end with 3 ribs. So let's do that. Even though we've got a purl here, it instructs us to knit 2 together, so put your needle through the front of both of those stitches, yarn around the needle, bring it through, that's 2 together, yarn around the needle, rib 12. Whoops. I'm so used to doing 1 and 1 rib. Okay, how many have we done? There's your 2 together and you yarn around the needle. Just pull that together. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2 more. Okay, knit 2 together again. Yarn round needle, rib 12. Keep going wrong because I keep doing 1 plain 1 purl instead of the 2 plain 1 purl. We should have 5 stitches left before we do the last buttonhole. So we've got 5, but just to check that there's 12 since the last one. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay, once again, knit 2 together, yarn round needle, whoops. Now this is a purl, so we need to bring the yarn round back the other way. Purl, last 2 plain of the rib. We're then required to do 2 more rows in rib, and then we cast off in rib. But just to take you through, simply all you do, those yarn round needles, you work them into the rib. So you want 2 purl, 1 plain. So this becomes a purl. That yarn round needle is a purl. The next one's a purl. Plain. You're back to the rib. And this one is a plain. So if you look back there, There's one hole. We've just created a second one. We now do 2 purl. Okay, so this is another purl one. So literally, there's the loop, the yarn over the needle, bring your needle through it, just treat it like a purl stitch, bring it through, that's a plain, that's a purl. Let's have a look. One hole there, that matches, one hole there, that matches, and another hole there. Ignore that just there, that's where the thread is below. What I don't like is that because the pattern instructed us to do knit 2 together, it looks like we've got a purl stitch there. I'm going to change that. So I'm just going to undo, go back. So if I go back again, okay, so I've undone it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to treat it as if it was had been a purl 2 together. So if I take that back over, I'm going to take those stitches over, and you can see now I've removed the purl stitch. I've still got the yarn around the loop there, around the needle. So now that's better because it's now in keeping with the rib stitch. And there's the hole. When I sew these threads up, you'll see that there are 3 holes. 1, 2, 3 buttonholes. So finish this row of rib, finish the next row of rib, and then I'll show you how to cast off in rib.